What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, I saw this morning. I want to talk about this. Now, we all remember Aaron Hernandez, the football player that definitely had a dark side. He was the one who used to play for the New England Patriots, but unfortunately, he was also a deleter of lives, and he was convicted of taking the life of semi-professional football player Odin Lloyd back in 2013. A couple of years later, in 2017, Aaron Hernandez took his own life, and he was posthumously diagnosed with chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, and it appears that his brother has followed in his footsteps. His younger brother, whose name is Dennis John Hernandez, was arrested last week after he allegedly planned and threatened to conduct a pair of school shootings at the University of Kentucky and Brown University. Now, if his name sounds familiar, Dennis John Hernandez, he had been in the news recently. He had been arrested a couple of times prior. Certain incidences that have occurred with him, I think he got into a scuffle, a kerfuffle or something like that at some event a couple of years ago, but his behavior has gotten worse and worse over the years. A couple of months ago, he was arrested. Remember, he was the one that threw a brick in the offices of ESPN and supposedly issued some threat to ESPN about what they had did to his brother. So now, Hernandez, who's 37, has been charged with threatening and breach of peace and was held on a $250,000 bond, according to a Bristol, Connecticut Police Department incident report. The report states that two people came forward to police to express concern about Hernandez, saying that he had been, quote, displaying very erratic behavior lately, unquote, and that he was also, quote, extremely sick, and that his mental health is continuing to deteriorate, unquote. Per police, a woman has said that she had been dating Hernandez at the time, loaned him her car so he could make a July 7th court date for a separate matter. The woman told police that Hernandez admitted he did not attend court, but instead went to the University of Connecticut and Brown, and that Hernandez went into a number of classrooms. This is the woman, her statements. Went into a number of classrooms and buildings at UConn, presumably to try to stake the places, the universities out, the classrooms. Police had previously spoken to another woman who said Hernandez had gone to map the schools out. Hernandez was a two-time team captain for the Huskies football team, where he played quarterback and wide receiver from 2004 to 2008. He also served as quarterback's coach at Brown for one season in 2011. According to the report, the first woman told police that Hernandez rambled about the incident and said he has a bullet for everyone. Police said that they also found numerous social media posts made by Hernandez in which he used threatening language and referenced money that others supposedly own him. Will I take people's lives? Absolutely. One such post read. He didn't say that. He used the K word. I've warned my enemies, so pay up front. Per the report, the Bristol Police Department determined Hernandez was gravely disabled and a danger to society, so they dispatched a number of officers to his home on July 19th. While they surrounded the home, police spoke to Hernandez on the phone, and he allegedly said he was armed and that if we approached him, he would take us all out. Talking about police. Hernandez then left the house and walked around the back, advancing toward police with his hands outstretched to his side. According to the report, he yelled, "Shoot me," and disregarded several police commands. The report states prompting police to use a taser on him. Police took Hernandez into custody and he was evaluated at a hospital. While there, police said Hernandez continued to make threats, allegedly saying he was planning to steal, take people out along with anyone who profited off of his brother, Aaron. Police said Hernandez once again mentioned ESPN, but no specific people. Once released, Hernandez was booked at the Bristol Police Department. apparently he left a text message to a family member that says that UConn program is going to pay unless I have a package deal and I get my estate and every single thing I work for. He also warns the family member to remain away from there because when I go, I'm taking down everything and I don't give a fuck who gets caught in the crossfire. I'm prepared to take my life and give my life. So if I don't see you on the outside, know I love you always. Not all shootings are bad. I'm realizing some are necessary for change to happen. Look, this is a person that obviously has lost their faculties, right? There's been a progressive mental deterioration in him. My guess is a combination of genetics. I mean, we saw this in his brother, right? Stress. I'm pretty sure that what happened to his brother, the way that his brother took his own life, has had a unbelievable impact on his psyche. And I believe that he, although this is something that can only be diagnosed after death, I strongly suspect that DJ also has CTE. Obviously we can't confirm these things, but I strongly suspect that he has CTE as well. And I do believe that had these things not been reported, this would have went down. I'm saying all this to say something else too. I'm really, really beginning to despise the sport of football. I know people love football. I've always been, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing turned me off from football. But now I'm getting to turn off from football just from the fact that the NFL tried to downplay this, this angle, that they're trying to take that, well, we made all these different precautions to safeguard our players' lives and safeguard the sport so that players will be in as safe a sport as possible. I'm just not buying it no more, man. Like, something happened that made Junior Seau take his life. Something happened which caused Dave Durrison to do what he did, take his own life, right? Something happened with all these different cases of former NFL players going berserk, absolutely berserk, going on shooting sprees, acts of violence, where they're in prison now, mentally deteriorating, situations where they unfortunately lost their lives, where they were committing acts of violence. What I'm getting at is, I'm not trying to make every case and make you feel sorry for all of them, but in a lot of these incidences, I don't think that these people are really there mentally. Like, the Junior Seau that we knew in the 90s wasn't the same person that took his own life that morning or that evening, whatever it was, in that bed. That wasn't the same person. That was a mental shell of that person. I do believe that CTE is much more prevalent than what they're letting on. Also, another thing that I think needs to be talked about when it comes to football is there is a much higher than normal rate of other types of brain diseases or neurological diseases. There's a higher rate of dementia. These players get dementia at a much quicker rate, a faster rate than any other real group. There's also a higher than normal rate of ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease in players. Mongo McMichael right now is unfortunately in the latter stages of his battle with that disease. He's lived a very long time with it too, and I hope he lives a much longer period of time, but I know that it can't be easy for him. I mean, it's just a lot of different things have happened over the years, man. People, these terrible injuries with paralysis. And you gotta remember, these guys don't have guaranteed contracts. And if you only play but so long, you know, you only get a pension if you play so long. A lot of these running backs, man, they're getting screwed because running backs aren't getting big contracts because of how they're doing it now. Now I do know this: the days with Emmitt Smiths and Walter Paytons, those guys playing 10, 12, 13, 18 years, it's becoming an exception. What they're doing now is these teams are drafting young running backs, right? 22, 23, 24 years old. But these guys are never getting out of they're rarely getting out of their rookie contracts. What happens is they'll, use these guys for 3 or 4 years while they're on their rookie contracts, maybe 5 years at the most, right? But the average shelf life of a running back is about, 4 or 5 years. So by the time they get off their rookie contract, running backs will be 27, 28, and by that time they figure, hell, we're not going to sign this dude to a big long-term contract, because by the time they're 30, most running backs start falling off anyway. So what they do is it's a cycle. They're like, well, we'll let you go. Your value is going to go down, and you may have to sign some 1 year or 2 year deal, but not a big payday, and then you're out the league because they're going to start trying to draft some of these younger dudes, and that's the cycle that's going on with running backs. As a matter of fact, I think there's a lot of guys who are running backs that are trying to bring this to the league's attention. It's BS. Also, I think too, don't you got to play 10 years to get a pension? So if these guys aren't playing enough years, they're not eligible for the pension. So if they're not making a lot of money, they're out the league in 5 or 6 years, these guys could be screwed. Then you're wondering why. Hey man, did you play in the NFL? Hey, why are you working at Lowe's when he's 44 years old? He didn't make the money you thought he did. But anyway, I hope this video didn't go too long. But yeah, this dude is definitely a nut that didn't fall too far from the tree. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.